Welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. This morning we're going to talk about Canva presentations. But first, let's do some introductions. So, Vivek, would you like to introduce yourself?
Namaste. My name is Vivekanand. Literally, it means wisdom and happiness. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. I aim to bring time tested wisdom and happiness together into your business and life by unifying, simplifying, and amplifying simple technology and tools. Wake Technology is my company. Together, let us wake up our potential. Um, I am in England, UK, in a town called Reading. The weather has been warming up. I suppose it is February already, so possibly spring is on the horizon, maybe.
Yeah, here comes David. Right on. So, it's very sunny here, Vivek, but it was 0 degrees this morning. So, when we get clear and sunny, we get cold, and when we get rainy, we get warm. It's not fair. So I'm happy you're here, especially
Glad to be here.
because Vivek is going to screen share the presentation this morning for us. So, right on. So, Javita, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Thank you, LowellAnn. And I'm Jivita from Mumbai, India. And I started my website this year for printables. And I also started my business on Amazon KDP.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So, what's it doing in Mumbai this morning? It's not this
Uh,
It's not this morning for you, is it?
no, it is evening, and the atmosphere is very not very cold. It's okay, but weather is fine.
Mm, right on. Yeah, it's always my recollection when I was in Mumbai, it was hot.
No, it's not that hot.
It's a little early, isn't it, to be hot, hot, hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
right on.
And it also depends on the state where you visited.
Hmm.
In Mumbai, it's moderately good atmosphere in any situation or any weather. It's not extreme hot or extreme cold. It is always moderately. In states like if you go to Rajasthan and on that side, then yes, there are very hot atmosphere and
Right.
scorchy, you can say.
Well, I'm happy you're here. And as I will say later, you inspired me to do today's
Oh,
message.
no, not at
So,
all. Thank you. Thank you very much. My pleasure to.
so Fred, I think you were here next.
Thank you, LowellAnn. Namaste. Happy Lunar New Year today.
Gung Ho Fat Choi.
There we are. Gung Ho Fat Choi. For those who understand that, which is New Year and for many of the Asian people, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the creator of Our Future Leaders, where we assist young people to gain all those all-important communication and leadership skills so they can help make the world a better place. There's a lot of changes they face. I'm in Langford, which is Jay's hangout. It's 1 degree now. It was freezing this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take one dog to another house this morning, and there was
Oh, we've lost Fred's voice. Oh, I think it's no, there he's back again. Are you still there? No, you're muted now.
Fred, we didn't hear the end of what you were saying.
Because my internet connection, I don't know. It says it's strong, but I don't know. It doesn't like me. I was saying there was ice on the windscreen this morning when I had to take one dog from one house to another house. So
Ooh, yes.
I had to scrape the ice off the window. So it was cold this morning.
Out comes the credit card. That's what everybody uses for scraping windshields here is a credit card. Because nobody has a windshield scraper here because it's not needed very often.
I actually have a windshield scraper.
Oh, you have one.
I think I brought it from Ontario. I still got it.
I think a lot of people just use their credit cards here. Welcome, Fred.
Believe it or not, I have more than one windscreen scraper.
You
in
do?
my car.
Wow.
More than one.
Well. So, David, would you like to introduce yourself? I think you've got your animals right there.
Yes, I'm Dave Flannery, and this is Daisy May, and she's my wife's dog, but she likes being with me too. The weather here is it's going to be 40 degrees Fahrenheit for the high today, which is really warm for us, and we're expecting snow, 1 to 3 inches, maybe up to a foot.
Oh dear.
The line is just like 20 between a foot and 1 to 3 is like 20 miles away from me. So it can move north and I can have a whole bunch, or it can move south a little bit and I have nothing.
Ah, right.
So, and I'm with Affordable Websites for Small Business. I try to make it easy on people needing a website for local business. The internet or YouTube is running fine, and so is the website. We are feeding fine.
So I'm having to go and open everything again. Suddenly everything disappeared on me. So I'm glad you made it, Dave. Alana, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hope everyone is doing okay. My name is Alana, coming to you from Ireland. My company is ALB Digital Marketing Solutions, where I write copy for small businesses and increase sales and conversions. I don't know how long I'll last because I've had internet problems for ages, but I keep getting a low systems resource message here. So I don't know how long this is going to last, but we'll see.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, so it's warm here, 45-ish, 50-ish. Not bad for February, so.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Right on. So now, I guess that's all of us. And I just want to kind of, by way of a bit of context, I'm just checking my OBS to make sure everything looks okay there. Yeah, okay. So by way of context, last week, Javita gave us a really neat presentation. And we asked her how she did it, and she said, well, I did it in Canva. And I'm going, I had no idea you could do a presentation in Canva. So I thought, well, that would make a good topic for us all to look at. So away I went. So this morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a presentation that I created using Canva. And Vivek is going to share his screen because I think some of you know sharing screen like this from in OBS doesn't seem to work very well. So,
But I don't think you introduced yourself, LowellAnn.
no, I guess I didn't. Well, you can see by my screen that I'm LowellAnn. My website is LowellAnn.com. And I like helping solopreneurs with all their online stuff. And by the way, in case any of you didn't know, Jay is down in Las Vegas this week. So our WA friends are all down there doing their celebration thing. So anyway, so over to you, Vivek. If you can share the screen, that would be most appreciated. Okay, and
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I think we can see the screen, and I'm looking in OBS, and it's come up. So I am not going to, if you wave at me during this, I won't be able to see you. So I need to have this open. So this presentation has been put together using a presentation template. And I hope that you will see that it might well be the place to do your presentations in the future. I spent a few hours watching instructional videos created by a Canva guy named Ronnie Hermosa. And I'm pretty sure he mentioned that he was broadcasting from Australia. And then I heard somebody else say they thought Canva is an Australian company. I haven't been able to confirm that, but somebody did say that. Anyway, Ronnie Hermosa has quite a few YouTube instructional things. So in the links on YouTube, I have put those links in there, so you will see them there. When I get a minute, I will try and post them in the chat box in Zoom here.
I'll take care of it for you, LowellAnn.
Thank you. All right. So you can see you can see that I have been able to add my own pictures, my own colors, my own website link at the bottom, etc. So even when you use a template, you can use somebody else's template that has been developed, but then you can add and change anything that you feel like you want to change. So maybe the next screen, Vivek. So now you will see some text in there that I did not take the time to change all of the text because I was working against time. But however, we usually begin with the question why. So why are we doing this? Well, the reason I'm doing it was because I was curious. Recently, I think I mentioned maybe last week to some people, I had made the decision to do all of my visuals for my website, for my blog posts, for this success circle, all of these things that I do. I previously was bouncing from this program to that program to that program for different things. and I realized that that was very inefficient and time consuming. So
That's called doing a Dave.
right. I know that's your style, David. But I decided I was going to learn how to do and do all of those things in one place. And boy, oh boy, did I ever notice when I was setting things up for today how much faster and more efficient that was. So now the other thing that you need to know is that I have been using the Canva the pro version, because I discovered a long time ago that if you're working with an image in Canva and you want to resize it, that is one function. You have to have a pro version to do it with. So I became a pro. Started using the pro version quite a long time ago. But I certainly haven't made use of all the things that were available. And as a matter of fact, I should give credit to WA, because I did watch a short series in WA by one Vitaly, I think it was his name is. He did 2 or 3 things on, some basic things that you could do with Canva. So that really got me interested. And then when Javita came along with the presentation, I mean, I had no idea you could use the presentation. So that was how it all started. So that's my why. So now, as you can see here, I want you to know that I'm using the images that were included in the template. Even though the people in the shots are a bit young for us, but I just, again, in the interest of time, and also to give you folks a sense of what the kind of thing that you get when you're using a template. So again, you can see that I put things in my own colors, etc. So now, if you're using, I think it's only in a pro version, you can use a filter that allows you to only see the free versions. And the information on the screen tells you that there is a lot available that you can do with the free version. However, the pro version will cost you $150 a year. So, but I liked this. I liked the way they presented the pictures in this template. I thought they were really nicely presented, and I really liked how clean the visual is. I don't know how you all feel about it, but okay, so we'll go on to the next one, Vivek. Now, the other thing that you need to know is there are dozens and dozens and dozens of templates available, and so this is just a something that illustrates that. And again, that was this slide was available in the slide presentation. I might say that there are so many templates available, it's difficult to make a choice. So I'm thinking that if you were doing a presentation on a regular basis, you might just you might end up just using the same one each time and making the changes as you go, and because you can waste an awful lot of time trying to figure out which template will I use today. So, all right, so I will go on to the next slide. So you can see here that this allows you to set up with your own colors, and there is a slide a box at the very end, but you can hardly see it because it's so light. That was one of my colors that I use. So that was just to give you a sense of the colors that I'm using, and I've put in the hex colors and so forth. So the next slide. Now I wanted you to see what a text page would look like, and so I put in when I watched Ronnie Hermosa, when I watched his presentation, he talked a lot about death by presentation or death by PowerPoint. Some of you remember those. And so he did talk about some of the mistakes that people often make with presentations. So too much information, too much text, not enough visuals. And when he talked about poor quality, not lining things up the way they should, etc. And visual, he used the term visual vomit, and gave somebody else the credit for using that term, somebody else who had done something about poor presentations. And so, being all over the place and not having things look kind of consistent is really what was meant by that term. So we can go on to the next one. Now here was something else that I was not aware of. There are a lot of shortcuts, and I learned a bunch more shortcuts by watching a video this morning as I was just, cruising around on my cell phone. So I don't know, Vivek, what happens if you do those, use any of those things? Or maybe I need to. Let me see if I can do C. Does anybody see any? Oh, there's the drum roll. So, however, the Canva expert did say that some of these things should be used sparingly. So, but I just put this in here again, just so you get a sense of what some of the text looks like. And then the next screen. Now I gotta tell you, this slide does not follow any of the rules that were given, but I wanted you to see that you can add items in a list, as well as the banner for the title at the top. Those are all things that you can pull in and do whatever. And the rules of design, again, these were things that this Ronnie Hermosa gave. One main idea per slide. He was didn't have a whole lot of time for checklists and lists of a lot of detail. A lot of people who have written about presentations will say that one main idea per slide is really the better idea. And so the second rule was to cut text to a bare minimum, make it very easy to take in, and make them as visual as you can, and make your visuals as big and bold as possible. And again, another rule, I think I mentioned it before, make them consistent so that the visuals and everything hangs together. Otherwise, it's very disconcerting to the viewer. And respecting alignments and empty spaces. He talked a lot about making sure there's lots of white space on your slides. And alignments. It drives some people crazy if things are not lined up exactly the way they should be. So, and then the last rule I didn't have space for on that screen. So he talked about making sure that you use the right aspect ratios. So Vivek, can you change the screen? There it is. I was looking over on OBS and I know there's a delay there. So it's very easy when you're in the back end of Canva to see what the ratios are, but these were the ones that he felt that it was important for you to know. So when you're choosing, you decide on what platform or where you want to present things. So you can see that there's one for the desktop, one for tablets, and one for mobile. So next screen. Now, I had a great time with this one because all these little icons were showing up in blue, and that didn't work for me. They all had to be in purple. So, but there are all kinds of icons that you can use, and you can resize them in whatever way you want. So I thought it would be interesting for you to see that there are those icons. Now, the next screen, Vivek. So we're coming up to the end of this this actual formal presentation. So you can see here that you can put in a very nice looking contact page, which makes it easy for people to take note of the information. You can see here this how much white space there is and how easy it is to read all of this. So that was a good example. And you'll notice that, and of course you can change the information that you want to provide on a screen like this. And you'll notice that we made use of all those little icons that you saw on the screen before. So, and the next screen, Vivek. So this is the official end of the actual formal presentation that I did, just showing you what it was like to use one of those templates and make a few changes, and so you can see what can be done. It's fairly easy to do. Now, I do have to say that this has been was a learning journey for me, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. So the next slide. Now, because just because of the way we were set up, it's awkward to show the internal workings of anything when you're working in OBS. So I decided I would share a few screenshots just to help you see all the important places that you would want to check when you're using Canva. So the next screen, this is what you see as soon as you open Canva. You see that it is pretty easy to navigate. You've got all those little circles along the top, and you see that this is the home screen, and I just from my own experience of using Canva. I mean, I started using Canva a long time ago, and I have to say that it's way easier to navigate than it was at the beginning. This is really quite easy, and you can see, for example, at below the blue section there, you can see you can choose a video, the presentation. Like, there are all kinds of templates for all kinds of things. So it just doesn't matter what you want to create. It's just there's something in there that you could use. So I'll go to the next screen, Vivek. So now you can see that the next item down from the home screen, it says all your designs. And so this screenshot just basically shows you all the most recent things that I was working on. And it's just that easy. Like, you don't have to dive around looking and pulling up or whatever. It's just there, really easy to find. Next screen, Vivek. Now you see up on the menu bar, it does tell you that allows you to go look for templates. And so when I clicked on that template, up comes all these templates. And basically that's all you need to do to find as many as you want. And when you're working inside a presentation, that there's a menu bar that goes down the left hand side that shows you where all these things are as well. So okay, next one. So one of the things that I learned from watching the videos that I did is that when you get started, you start with a brand kit, and you can see with the arrow down there, it's in the menu. So the brand kit allows you to set up before you do anything else, the color scheme that you want to use, the fonts that you want to use, the headers, and all and your I think your business logo. Like, there's a number of things that you can set up ahead of time, so that while you're doing your design work, it's all there at your fingertips. If you have done the brand kit ahead of time.
I think that part is probably available only when you are a pro member.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Ah.
Because only when you are a paid member, it allows you to do branding.
Aha. Okay.
Otherwise, you have to use the branding, whatever they give you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next page. Now, what you will see, I will show you an example, but it allows you to set up notes. So I wanted you to see where the notes are. So when you're setting up, you see down at the very bottom, when you click on that, that allows you to add notes to your slides so that you know what you want. And the other thing that I want to point out here, you can see down the left hand side, the black band down the left hand side, that shows that where you can find pretty much everything you want right there. And by the way, the note item, it took me a little while to discover that, but it's a toggle. So as you're working, you want to add notes, you click the note thing, you can add your notes, and then when you want it to disappear, you click it and it goes away. So I wanted everybody to know that, because if you're doing a presentation, you want your presentation notes, you want to remind yourself of the things that you want to emphasize during your presentation. And the next slide shows you what the note page looks like. So you can see that you've got your whole series of slides along the bottom. You've got the current slide there, and then you've got your comments that you're putting in to remind yourself. So I think most of us are used to having being able to access the notes from your presentation. So now the next slide, Vivek. So I wanted you to realize that when you're presenting, you have a few choices, and so you can see up on the off to the right, what I had done was I clicked on the box up in the blue that said present. And so then you get some choices as to what you want. And so in order for me to be able to see the presenter, the presenter view, what happens is two screens open up. One which is just the presentation, and then the other one that shows the slide along with your notes beside it. Vivek, the next one. And I wanted you to understand there are many, many things that you can do with your presentations. So you can see that I had clicked on the three dots up there in the menu bar, and you can see all the things that open up that allow you to do various things. And the interesting thing is that you can even create a website, and then you copy the menu, the URL, and you can share that with people, and that allows them to go in and look at your presentation. You can even share your presentation from Canva or share it as a PowerPoint. If I had been present when that was talked about, I would have asked whether it's possible to share it with Google's Slides. I have not determined whether you can share it with Google Slides. It seems to be there. PowerPoint seems to be there in the menu, but you can also see, I hope, that you can email. You can share on various social media platforms, etc. If you look at the blue banner across the top, you see there's a button there that says share. And so that is how I was able to share this with Vivek, and how he was able to go and open the presentation and share his screen with you. So this is the end of what I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed it, and if there are any questions that I can answer, by all means, go for it. So, what an exercise that was. It was such fun to do.
One of one of the things I noticed was you mentioned the tutorial by
Ronnie Hermosa.
Ronnie Hermosa. Um, the points that he raises are pretty much the same points that I have observed used by Steve Jobs. He used to create a very prominent visual image and just one or two words on that slide. That's
Yes.
all. One
Yeah.
or two words.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not a sentence.
Yeah.
Not even a phrase. Just one or two words.
Uh-huh.
And then he would explain what it is and so on. But those, whatever word that he puts on the slide are the most important ones which the audience needs to remember.
Yeah.
And those are the key words.
And I'm maybe some of you remember in the old corporate days when everybody was using PowerPoint, and you'd go to these corporate presentations, and up would come the slide with about a dozen things and
Bullets.
bullet points and checkpoints and all of that, with very few images. And the point that was made is that you don't want the purpose of doing a presentation is not to get people to read. You don't need to be there if all they're going to do is read. So the important thing is to point out the item that you want people to remember, and use as many visuals as you can, because somebody else said the one thing that people remember is how you made them feel. So what you want to do is, and that's what your visuals are for, is to create the emotion that you're trying to create. So yeah. No, that's true. I now that you mention the way Steve Jobs used to do his presentations, that was how he did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a couple of videos I saw where his colleague or Kawasaki made a presentation about how to make a presentation, and he talked about similar things, and he said when you put words on the screen, it has to be the minimum size for point size is 32. Any word you put on the slide, if it is less than 32, no, you are doing it wrong. You reduce the size. Why? You want to put more stuff there. You want to pack more stuff into one slide. Wrong thing to do.
Yeah. I don't. Ronnie. I think he said a different number. Let me see if I can find it, because I did write some notes that he said. It was smaller. I think it was. Yeah, maybe it was 32. Anyway, I wanted to mention to all of you that one of the links that I shared was the short codes, and that was I mentioned it earlier. Little easy things like if you just click a T, a text box comes up, and there's all kinds of really, really useful short codes that could make it that much more efficient for you. Yeah. It's that video, it's about 30 minutes in length, and if you're interested in doing Canva, that one is well worth a watch. Yeah.
I started watching Vitelli's series this morning to figure out if I'm going to be successful at using it.
Oh, you watched his Vitaly stuff? Yeah.
Right.
I watched those. It was a great place to start, but there's a lot more. Yeah. So what did you think? What do you think about that?
I've never liked the templates that they give us in Canva. They're not my style. They're more feminine. If you at least the ones that I've seen. And, I like it how, where you take half the picture and you divide it in half and an angle, and you put a picture on one side, and then on the top you put your like my logo there and information, and for example, like, can you use aluminum foil in an air fryer, the title of it and whatnot. And I just like to get that template that I like, and then reuse it and just change the picture and change the things. That's all and I've got that set up right now in Inkscape, where I can, I've got a template, I bring it up, I change the picture, change the words, and it's done.
Yeah.
So, you can do that with any
You can do that in
software.
Canva. You can do that in Canva as
You
well.
You can do it in Canva. You can relay that. That's another software that I've used. It has that, and it's got more of the design, like I'm talking about, templates and whatnot. And I used that for a long time, but I got frustrated with it because it wasn't easy to create. When you got done, I'd like to file over your template and stuff. So I want the template to be a template, not the last one I used.
Right.
Plus, then it just wasn't working very well. So I haven't used it in a while. That's one of those AppSumo programs.
Right. Well, and that's what I was trying to indicate. There are so many templates in there, but you don't have to use a template. You can create your own, and just away you go. So there's so many possibilities in there that as far as I'm concerned, that's doing it all in one place makes it more efficient for me. Yeah. So, any other comments from any others?
Yes, I want to just mention that in this presentation, I think it mentions that it costs around $150 per year.
Mm-hmm.
That may be the older version of that presentation slide. As you said, you have not changed the data. Because at present, the Canva pricing is $53.49 per year for 5 people.
Oh, really?
So you can,
because I went in and looked it up.
Yeah.
Is that
because So that just I want to mention, because they have changed their pricing so much, and for non-profit organization and students, they are giving the pro version totally free. For teachers also.
Yes.
And,
yes. Yeah. One thing that I don't know, and probably you do, Javita, do they have an affiliate program?
Yes, they do have.
So I sort of thought likely they would.
Yeah, but you have to apply. Means they share. You can share a common link with your in your email list and with your friends. But if you want to start with their affiliate program, then you have to separately sign in for their affiliate program. But they do have affiliate program. Yes.
Right on. That's useful to know. as well.
Yeah, and also even if you have a free account, you can upload your palette, not too many color means
I
I
think
think you can,
3 colors, I think,
yeah,
is
yeah,
is the yeah.
that is the limit for a free account, where you can upload your 3 palette colors, and you cannot upload your logo, I think, but you can create a logo for your business in Canva, and you can upload that logo and use as a branding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And the other thing is, what I did when I started is I just uploaded my logo from my own system, so it was there for me to access and pull in anytime I
Yeah,
wanted to use it.
yeah.
So
And the best part is, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can have your own folder. If you're for free account, you can have one folder where you can put your all the stuff there. And for paid members, you can have unlimited folders, and I think 100 GB
wow,
space. So you can all put your all designs and all the stuff. If you have a paid version, then you
yeah,
don't have to worry about that.
yeah, yeah. So
That's the
it's
best part.
and watching Vitali's videos, he I think there were 4 videos that he did, or 4 presentations he did, and he purposely did everything showing what you could do from the free version. He didn't I think he did say he had the paid version, but all of his presentations were showing what you can do using the free version. I mean, it's a lot that you can do without having to go pro. Yeah. Yeah. So
Pro version is best if you have means if you have a business related to, means like for me, I have just started with Canva Pro. For the last 4 years, I am using Canva free version because it was enough for my business. But now I am using Canva Pro because it gave me so much means it becomes so much easy to do complete your work, like resizing.
yeah.
So
that was the key one for me.
yeah, that feature is awesome.
Yeah.
Means you can create a one visual for, suppose you are creating for Facebook, then you can just with a click you can resize for Pinterest or any other social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah. And for me, because when I started, I was started with creating wall arts, and I have a Etsy shop, so I have to provide different dimensions of the same design. So then you don't have to make the individual design. You just make one design, and then just resize in how many means dimensions. I create 7 dimensions very easily with just one click.
Yeah.
Because that it makes so much easy for you. I mean, if you have a business related to this stuff,
Yeah.
like creating journals are very easy.
Yeah.
So if you are a business, then Canva Pro is a must. Otherwise, Canva free is,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now, Alana, you were waving. Any questions?
Yeah, and
or
I forgot what I was going to say now, but I have the free version that I haven't used in probably 2 years now. So it looks like there's been, excuse me, a lot of changes to the application. So I think that's great, because I seem to recall it used to have a dark background and now it has a white background. So that's one big change for me right there. But with Dave, when he was talking about those templates he was doing, I know what kind of template you're talking about. I've seen those templates, and I had to create my own as well, because when I did have a couple of websites, I was doing something similar, and I think that was kind of a standard when you're using images on affiliate sites. And so I had to create my own and save it, and then I would just go in and recycle it every time I needed to. And so the color was there, the size was there. All I had to do was swap out the picture, add some text, save it, and done.
I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing in Canva now.
Yeah.
It's easy.
But I think it's great with all the extra, like if the pro version has a lot more bells and whistles than I thought. Like when you were talking, I was wondering about the PowerPoint presentation, if it could be converted to a Google presentation as opposed to you know what I mean? I don't, sometimes with Excel spreadsheets, if you try to open them in Google, it will convert it for you.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it'll do the
Yeah.
same with
Yeah.
a Canva presentation.
Yeah. I
So that
thought
would be
about that
curious.
too. I just haven't experimented with it to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Most PowerPoints can be opened in Google Slides, and
Yeah.
it'll
yeah,
open it.
yeah.
And it gives you then afterwards it gives you an option to save them as Google Slide format. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, being able to bounce back and forth in and out of things in Google is because I work with people at the care center. They only do Microsoft, and so, but I like to work in Google. So the fact that you can download anything you want out of Google and download it as a Microsoft product saves me a heck of a lot of hassle. Yeah. So, well, it's I mean I I had such fun playing with all of this that and I think that when you're learning something new, if it's an enjoyable learn, then you're more apt to go back to it. And it certainly was an easy learn for me. I know I have lots and lots more to do, but I was able to pick up a lot very quickly. So yeah. Any other comments or questions? Fred, do you have a desire to have the last word?
Yes. Long as my internet
Yes, I know.
doesn't play games with me, it seems to be playing games. It's a very interesting topic, presentations, and I would highly recommend, first of all, what type of presentation you're talking about. If it's a slideshow where you're presenting online and you're using the slides and you have your notes, that's one thing that comes to mind. But sometimes you just want to have something on your website where people can click.
Mm-hmm.
And you can create these slideshows without you really even being part of it. Just you have your voiceover and you go through. So those could be very interesting in business. So once you've determined that, then I think what Vivek mentioned is very key, is simplify, because there are so many nice tools and playthings that it can become very distracting for your audience.
You mean,
and you often get
it's
that.
a rabbit hole that we can all go down?
Oh, is it ever? And there's some really cool tools that we say, oh, look at this, I can make this fly in off the page, and I can turn this around, and eventually it's just all sorts of toys.
Yeah, I know.
And you're really not achieving your goal is your message. What is the message you're trying to deliver?
Yes.
And that's like, I mentioned the name Peter Scott to you.
Peter Scott is going to present to us on the 15th.
Wonderful. Well, Peter Scott has given a presentation on death by PowerPoint as well.
Oh, he has, eh?
Oh, and that really is an eye opener. Once
Yeah.
I saw that, it ruined me for life when I watched everybody else's PowerPoints. I said, oh no, they're doing all this, there's so many mistakes we make that we rely on it. It becomes a crutch, and we just read, or we just have our notes, and we're just like monotone reading, or we're going through our notes. And there's so many rabbit holes and so many challenges with this. And there are many products. If you just Google, PowerPoint alternatives, all sorts of names will come up.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I recall, and I don't remember the product, but I met this young lady who wanted a job with this company, and I think it had something to do with like rocket slides or something was the name of it. I'm not sure. She produced in their product a presentation on why they should hire her. And within an hour, the president of the company was phoning her saying, we have never, ever seen anyone use our software the way you did. You've got to come and work for us.
Cool.
She did unbelievable things in their software that they hadn't even thought that their software could do. So she definitely got her message across. And they did. She moved to the States from Canada with that company because of that. So it is possible, but wow, be careful. That's all I can say is I think what Dave was saying, what do you want to do? What is the message? What product? No, how do you want to do that presentation? Is it something that's automatic on your website? Somebody can click and it's not even you talking. There's so many areas, but be careful of all the little fancy bells and whistles that can become a distraction and you lose the message. So it was a very interesting, I didn't know Canva was one of them, but it definitely is. Google Slides, Zoho Slides, Keynote, Prezi. Prezi is one my daughter used in her university, and that's the one that things you just click.
Oh, Fred's sound just left us. Oh dear. Well, thank you for your last word, Fred. I know that it's sometimes when we're in uncertain surroundings, our bandwidth plays tricks on us. Yeah.
I don't know how much you heard of that, but anyway,
we heard quite a bit of it.
It's a fascinating topic, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, and of course, as I did say, I was looking at it from the perspective of efficiency, being able to do everything I want to do in one place. That's important. Yeah. So I just want to let you all know that next week, Vivek and maybe me will be talking about an item called Padlet. It's kind of like a bulletin board type thing that is being used in a very interesting way. So we'll do that. So that's next week. And the following week, Peter Scott will talk to us about AI. And then the week after that, I have to remember what the lady's name is. Where is she? She's in here somewhere. Marlene, is it? Is that the lady's name that you mentioned to me?
Maureen Berry.
Maureen, okay. Yeah. She will be with us the following week. So we have some interesting guests coming. So with that, I thank you all for participating and indulging me with my having some fun. And hopefully we will see you all next week. And in the meantime, it's important to do what you love with passion. And I do all.